every decision we ever make.
Since the announcement of the new release date of the movie, Venom fans have been on the lookout for the sequel. The first film, released in 2018, did not get so many kind remarks from audience members, but we got the experience one could be looking for in an anti-hero superhero kind of movie. Ever since the announcement of the release of the sequel, however, a lot of you must be wondering about what to expect from the upcoming movie. If you are here and clueless as to what to expect, you are in the right place. Hello, and welcome yet to another exciting episode. Today we bring you all the details you need to know about the yet-to-be-released sequel, Venom, There Be Carnage. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Venom, There Be Carnage is an American superhero film, which features the Marvel Comics character Venom. The film is produced by Columbia Pictures in association with Tencent Pictures and Marvel, and distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing. It is intended to be the second film in the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters, and it is also the sequel to Venom, which was released in 2018. The film is directed by Andy Serkis and is based on a story written by Kelly Marcel and Tom Hardy. Kelly also wrote the screenplay and Tom played Eddie Brock, Venom, in the film. As a writer, Kelly Marcel has been involved in writing some high-profile projects, including 50 Shades of Grey and Saving Mr. Banks. She was also the creator of the short-lived series Terra Nova, and she co-wrote Disney's newly released Cruella. Marcel and Tom Hardy have notably been doing uncredited rewrites of 2008's Bronson. They are very good friends, and Tom Hardy is most likely the one who convinced Sony to bring her back for the sequel. The plans for a sequel to this American superhero movie isn't new, as it began during the production of the first film. Venom was intended to be the beginning of a new shared universe. It only served as the start of something. Kasady, played by Woody Harrelson, made a brief appearance towards the end of Venom only with the intention of becoming the villain, Carnage, in the sequel. Officially, work began on the sequel in January 2019. The director Andy Serkis was hired as a director in August, among a list of other notable directors such as Travis Knight and Rupert Sanders. Serkis was, however, employed based on his working experience with CGI and motion picture technology. This was an important part of portraying the Venom and Carnage in the film. Serkis is best known for playing Gollum in the Lord of the Rings franchise and Caesar in the Planet of the Apes prequel trilogy. Serkis has also built up a director's resume for himself. He served as a second-unit director on the Hobbit trilogy, and he also directed 2017's drama Breathe and Netflix's Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle. Filming went from November 2019 to February 2020 at Leavesden Studios in England, with additional filming in San Francisco in February. The scheduled date for the initial release was October 2020, but was cancelled due to the global health situation. However, the title was announced in April 2020 and is set to be released in the United States on September 24, 2021. The plot: Venom, There Be Carnage continues with the life of Eddie Brock. Over a year after the incidents in Venom, he struggles as he tries to adjust to a life as the host of the alien symbiote Venom. In return for using his body as a host, Venom grants him superhuman abilities in order to be a lethal vigilante. Brock tries to reignite his career as a journalist by interviewing a serial killer, Cletus Kasady. Cletus becomes the host of another symbiote, Carnage. He escapes the prison and is left to Venom to save the day. Though Venom is not without its flaws, there was an aspect to the comic adaptation that won the hearts of many viewers. This is the symbiotic relationship between Eddie Brock and Venom, both of whom were played by Tom Hardy. The unsettling yet strange and intriguing courtship between this disgraced reporter and his gooey friend was at the heart of this anti-hero story, and their sequences together were among the movie's better beats. One could call their relationship somewhat romantic. Thankfully, the producers have listened to the feedback and criticism from audience members, and so have decided to spend more time focusing on their partnership in an effort to appeal to the large numbers of people who showed up to see the 2018 movie. Cast members: the film is also studded with star actors such as Naomi Harris, Michelle Williams, Reed Scott, Woody Harrelson, and Stephen Graham. Tom Hardy plays Eddie Brock and Venom. He is an investigative journalist who hosts an alien symbiote, Venom. In return for being a host, Venom imbues him with superhuman abilities. According to the director Andy Serkis, he describes Brock and Venom's relationship as being in the odd couple stage in the film. This is because Venom is trapped in Brock's body, and all he is preoccupied is with being the lethal protector. But this distracts Brock from work and efforts to put his life back together. Michelle Williams plays Anne Weying. Anne Weying is a district attorney and Eddie's ex-fiancée. For now, it is unclear how exactly she will factor into the plot this time. It is important to note that in the first film she was also possessed by Venom, so who knows, she may once again become She-Venom. Naomi Harris plays Francine Barrison and Shriek. She is Kasady's love interest. The director describes her as as a damaged soul who has been living in isolation and also has a dark side to her. This antagonistic personality will be teaming up with Carnage using her cerebral powers. Reed Scott plays Dan Lewis. He is a doctor and he is also Anne's boyfriend. He is the doctor who tries to help Eddie after he got infected by his alien symbiote Venom. Stephen Graham plays Mulligan. He is a detective whose only hope is to find Brock to find the remains of Kasady's murder victims. Woody Harrelson plays Cletus Kasady and Carnage. Kasady is a psychotic serial killer who soon becomes the host of another symbiote, Carnage. Kasady refuses to talk with anyone besides Brock while he's in prison. This is because he considers Brock to be a kindred spirit. Kasady looks different when compared with his appearance in the mid-credit scene of the first film. The director stated that it only indicates the passage of time between films. Peggy Lou also reprises her role as a convenience store owner, Mrs. Chen, from the first film in Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Additionally, Larry Olubamiwu and Sean Delaney have been cast in the sequel, but their roles are undisclosed for now. Production. During the development of Venom in 2018, the character Carnage was expected to appear as the antagonist. However, during pre-production of the film, the creative team decided not to include the character. This was because they needed to focus on introducing the protagonist, Eddie Brock, and Venom. Director Ruben Fleischer, who directed Venom, felt that leaving Venom's most formidable villain for a sequel would give the franchise a place to go to and would be a next step to take naturally were there a sequel. Therefore, Carnage's alter ego Cletus Kasady was introduced in a mid-credit scene at the end of the first film, the intention being to feature him in a sequel. Fleischer wanted to cast Woody Harrelson in the role, feeling that there was a natural connection between Carnage's character and Harrelson's performance in Natural Born Killers 1994. He asked Harrelson while the pair were discussing a sequel to their film Zombieland 2009. After meeting with Fleischer and Tom Hardy for dinner, Harrelson agreed to take on the part. Harrelson described his role as a roll of the dice, since he was unable to read a script for the sequel before signing on to the first film, ahead of Venom's release in August 2018. Tom Hardy confirmed he had signed on to star in 2 sequels. Venom Let There Be Carnage is still at its post-production stage. Luckily, the team managed to wrap up production before productions were forced to shut down due to the global health situation. Regardless, the movie is not without its own challenges in the midst of post-production. The editing team initially started work on the movie in London, but when the editor returned to the United States, Andy Serkis needed to work remotely. This prevented them from working in the same office. While the team finds ways to put the film together, we wonder if the sequel will need any reshoots or whether or not these reshoots will be done. Reshoots played a heavy hand during Venom. In fact, they are often a key component of any blockbuster. Will there be any need for a reshoot for Venom Let There Be Carnage before it's released in September? There have been speculations that there will be yet another sequel to this sequel once it is done. Oscar-nominated cinematographer Matthew Libatique, who shot Black Swan and A Star Is Born, was the one who shot Venom but not the sequel. Though he was not able to return for the sequel, the production did not hurt much visually. Director Andy Serkis hired acclaimed cinematographer Robert Richardson to man the camera this time around. The 3-time Oscar-winning director of photography is behind many acclaimed titles, including Platoon, Inglourious Bastards, Born on the 4th of July, Hugo, The Aviator, Django Unchained, JFK, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, The Hateful Eight, and Wall Street. Most recently, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Also shot Serkis' directorial debut, Breathe, and he agreed to work on the filmmaker's latest directorial feature film. With such a prestigious cinematographer on hand, Venom Let There Be Carnage should hopefully look great. With that, we have come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make sure to turn on your notification bell. That way you get informed when we upload another interesting video. You can also leave us a comment in the comment section. Let us know your opinion about the upcoming sequel.